please join me in singing God Bless America, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. God bless America, land that our love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. It's always a pleasure when we can welcome our visitors and our guests. Today is no exception, so when I call your name, if you'll please stand with your host Rotarian, we'll save our applause for the end when all have been introduced. Dustin Holder has Andrew Martins with him today. Sandy Siegfried, Kirk Vanderslice, and past President Matt Davis wrote down here he has his beautiful wife, Becky, whom he loves and adores, and that he's glad that she could be with us today, and he hopes that after meeting you'll all stop by and say hello up here in front. Let's give them all a round of applause. Our visiting Rotarians today from Bristow, our driller from Nicaragua, Mickey Moore. From Tulsa Sunrise, Steve Reed. And from North Tulsa, Ron Petty. Hi, Ron, way in the back. Thank you so much. Come back and visit anytime. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Linda. Now, our Rotary sponsors this week: Ken Merchant Optometry, Mike Fine Airport Parking, Gail Fair Tucker, Property Client Services, Eric Ortega, and John Raines, Astral Inc. We encourage you to do business with your fellow Rotarians. Let's please thank all of today's sponsors and our volunteers. We have some committee meetings today. IBA, room 232. Above and Beyond, room 233. International Projects, room 234. And if you are one of our newer Rotarians and you're interested in one of these committees, just waltz right in there and find out what's going on in those committees, because these are all really interesting, great projects. In announcements, Trish Kirkstra asked that I extend a big thank you for the Youth Exchange Committee. They are so grateful for all the Rotarians who hosted students this past weekend. Can you raise your hands if you hosted? And we got some wonderful reports about your generosity, taking students out to Burgers at McNelly's and to the Gilcrease or the Oaks for brunch, to the Sky Zone, and even the Bass Pro Shops. Thanks to Bob McKenzie for CC's Pizza passes too. The students had a wonderful time, and we could not host this event in Tulsa each year without you. And now, Mickey Moore, if you wouldn't mind standing again. He is leaving for Nicaragua next week, so let's wish him well. Thank you for all your work. And now, Matt Davis, would you please bring your soulmate and beautiful wife, Becky, to the stage? Becky, you are being recognized today as a Paul Harris Fellow in special appreciation for the ways in which your life exemplifies the humanitarian and educational objectives of the Rotary Foundation. You are designated to receive this recognition by your new husband, Matt Davis, as part of your wedding gift to one another. We're so excited. Cool. Don't start crying. Okay. This is so cool. Matt, I want you to get this girl. Here, come over here. We can get a good picture. Yeah. Great. Thank you, guys. And project announcements. John Raines, sign up for the, what is it, February 14th, Valentine's Day?
Yeah, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Sign-ups will be in the lobby. You can actually sign up and pay out in the lobby. It's February the 14th, Friday night. We're going to hear a lot about the Woody Guthrie Center today from our speaker, so you'll have even more incentive to attend this event next Friday than taking out your sweetheart or your spouse. It's from 6:30 to... That would be the male side of the deal. Okay. It's from 6:30 to 8:30. It's $35 a person. It includes wine, really heavy hors d'oeuvres, in other words, dinner almost, and everything else you might want. President Karen said she'd like to sign up.
I would like to sign up, but what got into you? You were so funny the last couple of weeks, and did I scare you last week?
Well,
I did try to cut you off.
President Karen, it's like this. We can now have this technology where we can make up meetings. So we get this email link, and you can watch the meeting. I come home, and my wife said, you had Congressman Langford for a speaker, and I was so interested in him, I kind of snooped your email and watched the video. What's all this crap you said about me and my mother-in-law? So I kind of got in trouble a little bit, even though I was teasing. So now I have to go above and beyond. Not only am I taking my wife and my mother-in-law to the Valentine event, I found out that Friday night at 8 p.m. at the PAC, Cinderella is playing, so I get to go watch the ballet as well.
Ah, cool.
So I would invite anybody that wanted to come with their person of interest that they would like to take, whether that's your mother, mother-in-law, or wife, or husband, and go on over to the PAC, leave a little early, and check the ballet out. Thank you.
Hey, cool. And you know, yeah, thank you, John. And this is another great event. If you happen to be single, all of our singles should come to this event. It'll be fun. And you never know when a little romance might strike up. So, anyway. Okay, moving on. Janet Rockefeller. Sarge.
I don't know if I can follow that, but I'll try. Okay, hit it. Oh, okay. Another
Swing.
plug for Cinderella at the PAC. Brenda Melancon, where are you? Okay, I have your tickets. Okay. Okay. Norm. Okay, congratulations. This was on the front page of the Tulsa World Business section, and he paid a $200 fine, and we should be very proud of our Rotarian.
Yeah.
Way to go, Norm. Woohoo! Okay, and then we have a very special birthday. This is Teddy Small, and he turned 6.
Oh.
And, yeah. I don't know if the owner looks like him or not, but anyway, happy birthday, Teddy. Okay, and then Vic, thank you so much for your fine. You didn't bring it to me, you gave it to the office, but I got you anyway, so thank you for your support. And then I was personally delivered a check by Jose, and I happily accepted the check and thought, wow, his hair's better than mine. I mean, Anyway, that's all I have for this week. Thanks. Have a good week.
Thank you, Janet. Our Rotarian today is Marty Alexander, and she's a senior consultant for World Travel Services, Inc., and Marty's also the queen of our social events for the club. Marty joined our club in March 1990, and she's both a Club Foundation Fellow and a Paul Harris Fellow. Our Rotarian of the day, Marty Alexander.
Rotarians, you're in for a real treat today. I believe that the Woody Guthrie Center is Tulsa's best new attraction. And, as you've heard before, for the last 3 weeks, you have the opportunity to discover its many treasures on the Rotary Valentine's Day private party, February 14th. Space is limited, so make sure you register online or see John Raines or me after the club, or call us, email us, whatever. To tell us about this great new Tulsa landmark is Deana McCloud, who is the executive director of the Woody Guthrie Center in the Tulsa Brady Arts District. She's also a member of the Brady Arts District Business Association the Folk Alliance International, the Tulsa Regional Chamber, and serves on the board of the Oklahoma Center for Poets and Writers, which must be fascinating, as well as the advisory board for the Woody Guthrie Journal. Before taking this new position, Deana was a teacher at the Pryor Public School District for 14 years and achieved national board certification, in addition to being named her school's Teacher of the Year. During this time, she also taught on a part-time basis for the 8th floor in Tulsa, which I didn't realize what it was, but they instruct teachers on ways to effectively use technology, and this museum is all about technology. And completed her graduate studies in library media and informational technology. For the past 16 years, she has been a member of the Woody Guthrie Coalition, booking and producing concerts for the Woody Guthrie Folk Musical Festival in Okemah, Oklahoma, and working with the Woody Guthrie Publications to present programs about Guthrie. So I assure you, you will not be sleeping today. Please join me in welcoming Deana McCloud.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be here. First of all, I have to mention this because, as you noted, I work around music a great deal. You guys are awesome singers. That was gorgeous. I do want to share some of what we're doing at the Woody Guthrie Center and make sure you all are aware of what we have to offer, particularly with our educational outreach. I also have some comp tickets here. There will be a test after this. I am a teacher, so just, there will be no sleeping, pay attention, and you will be rewarded adequately. First of all, I would like to show you a little video of Woody's move back to Tulsa. Sometimes playing some music and seeing some visuals is the best way to represent what we're doing. Eric, do you have that? Where'd he go? Or I could just sing to you. It would be great. And reenact the Dust Bowl. Lots of wind. Yes.
Many months have come and gone since I wandered from my home. The Oklahoma hills where I was born. A many page of life has turned, many lessons I have learned. Feel back in those hills I do belong. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, riding my pony on a reservation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, a cowboy's life is my occupation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Hey, as I sit here today, ain't many miles away, where I rode my pony right through the draw. And those oak and blackjack trees, said untamed red dirt breeze, I kissed the sweetest gals that I ever saw. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, I ride my pony on a reservation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, a cowboy's life is my occupation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Now my dreams turn back a page to the land of the great Osage. Chickasha, Choctaw, Cherokee Creek, Seminole, where the black oil rose and flows and the snow-white cotton grows. And them Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, riding my pony on a reservation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, a cowboy's life is my occupation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Yeah, in them Oklahoma
PowerPoint, I think. Technology is wonderful, and as a teacher, I know that you always have to have a worksheet in your back pocket just in case. So, Woody is back in Oklahoma, which is where he belongs. He moved back from New York City, where Nora Guthrie had the archives stored for 15 years. And she took excellent care of everything, but she has now entrusted us with taking care of the artifacts. This is the outside of our building. It's very easy to see because it's got this huge mural of Woody Guthrie on the side. And right across the street is Guthrie Green. Not only are we trying to impact education, we want to be a source of civic improvement. And if you haven't been downtown lately, you need to come downtown. There's just incredible amount of stuff going on. The last time I checked Google Maps and looked up our address, it still had the old abandoned warehouse. And across the street was this ugly loading dock for semis, which is now a gorgeous park. So the investors who are putting the finances into the rejuvenation of the downtown area are doing an excellent job, and they're doing it properly, taking care of the earth, taking care of the environment. Okay, so the Woody Guthrie Archives, we have over 10,000 items inventoried in the archives that are either Woody's work or related to his work. So we have a great number of things that we can pull out and put on display and change out, among which is the original handwritten lyrics of This Land Is Your Land, which is a beautiful thing to see. This is also an area where researchers come and work on projects. We're anxious to see what might come from the archives in Tulsa as academic work, books, publications. But we also have a theater that seats 60 in the facility. We play a 13-minute video that's a quick overview of Woody and his continuing influence on contemporary musicians and art and society. With the recent passing of Pete Seeger, we know that this legacy lives on even after the people who have worked so tirelessly for social justice have passed on, and it's up to the rest of us to take up that same goal, that same work, and complete the mission to give everyone the same opportunities. We do concerts in our theater in addition to the video. We can do presentations. When you all have your event in our gallery, you have the entire run of the place. Our only restriction is because we have so many interactives and computer-generated components on the floor, we keep all the food and drink in the back gallery, but otherwise, the IT people get really angry with me and give me a lecture on, do you know what will happen to this if water gets on this? I don't, but but you would fix it for me. This is our main reason for being in downtown Tulsa. We are an educational resource for students, for teachers, and for academics. We have such a variety of things that we can do with student tour groups. My education manager normally comes to these speaking engagements with me so that while I'm doing this, she's working the crowd. She actually has a group of students that are touring. So she was unable to come. One thing that I want to mention, because most of the schools in the Tulsa area are Title I schools, there's always the concern, well, my kids can't afford $5 a person. Okay, bring them. We'll comp them in. That's no problem. George Kaiser Family Foundation has a scholarship for transportation costs. Basically, if you want to bring your kids to the downtown area, we can make it happen. If we're going to have them come in and do an hour tour at the Woody Guthrie Center, then you need to go across the street and eat at Guthrie Green. You need to go to 108 Contemporary next door, or the Philbrook next door, or the glass blowing school across the street, or in the springtime, catch a drillers game. Don't bring your students out for just an hour. Let's make a day of it. We work with these different facilities and make sure that we give all of the students in the area the same experience because, and I will apologize if there are any legislators or administrators in the audience, I am so sorry, but let's just be honest, students never learn by taking standardized tests and being taught to take a test. They learn from an experience. They learn from taking information in and then creating. And so we're giving them an example of someone who used his creativity to express his world. We not only use artifacts from Woody Guthrie. Right now we've got a 2-case exhibit that is focused on the 5 civilized tribes. As you heard in the actual lyrics to Oklahoma Hills includes a line that's very, very difficult to sing, but it mentions all 5 of the tribes: Chickasaw, Choctaw, Cherokee, Creek, and Seminole. So we want to recognize those people. Next week, we also are going to have a case that focuses on Woody and Pete and their work for civil rights. So while we are Woody Guthrie-centric, we're telling the story of all of us. And we certainly are not, I do like Nora Guthrie's mention during our opening. She said, the center is not someplace where we want you to come and look up to Woody Guthrie. He had many, many faults, as we all do. But we want you to come and look him square in the eye and hear what he had to say, and then leave our center and tell your story. We are there to inspire. We would love nothing more than to have teachers send us work that their kids did after they came and saw the center. We want to empower those kids who have been told that they are worthless, that they are no good because they're too fat, too skinny, too small, too non-athletic, and show them they have beauty and power within them. And some of those kids who come from such terrible, terrible places that we all see, they need to be told that, because they are generally the most creative people in the world, if you can just draw that out, you know. I taught for 4 years at an alternative high school. Those kids were the most creative people, the most artistic people I had ever met. But a traditional classroom would not work for them because they didn't get that whole mindset of teaching and sitting still and teaching to do well on a test. They needed to create. This is our example. These youngsters are from a 2nd grade. They put the fear of God into us whenever we heard they were coming. They were our first tour group this school year. You know, our target is like 5th grade maybe, and above. 100 2nd graders. First tour group. And so we had a little talk in our office. What are we going to do? Okay, the decision was we divided them into 3 groups. One group we took in our classroom. We have a smart classroom. It's all ready to go with a smart board and tables and everything. They did an art session. We took another group into the theater, and they wrote a song. They didn't know they could write a song until they left. It was a beautiful thing. You see that little light come in? They came into the theater, and I asked them, how many of you have ever written a song? No hands. How many of you think writing a song is difficult? It's really a hard thing to do. Oh, yeah. Hands all over. They left and they had a song, and they were so proud of themselves. They worked together, they created something, and they learned. And then the 3rd group did a little scavenger hunt on the floor. Then every 20 minutes we rotated them. It was the most positive day we ever had. After they left, we went to the office and had a glass of rum, though, because it was exhausting. Yeah, but you can see that this is our Woody's Music Bar. There are 46 songs recorded by Woody Guthrie himself, and the kids, I love the little girl, she's just kind of dancing. We have a rule in the center, and it's no running. That's about it. When kids come in, my education director asks them if they've ever been in a museum before and what are the rules. Don't touch anything, be very quiet, don't dance, don't run. And we just tell them the only thing you can't do here is run. We don't want you running into the case because some of the cases have very sharp edges. Woody Guthrie was in the Merchant Marines and then in the Army. A lot of people are surprised to know that he was a military person. During World War II, he stood up for his country in our darkest time. This is a fiddle he had with him on the Merchant Marine ships, which were sunk twice. And he took a wood-burning set because he was constantly drawing or writing or creating. It says this machine killed 10 fascists, and then it also says drunk once, sunk twice. So Yeah, you know, and his mandolin. So we have the normal artifacts that you would expect to see in a museum, but we also are very state-of-the-art technologically, very hands-on. Anything we don't want you to touch, we have behind glass so you can't touch. You can see behind the guitar, there are over 400 8x10 metal plates that are laser etched with the original work. So it's an exact duplicate of the work, but we don't have to worry about preserving the paper and encasing them in an environmentally controlled space. There are also lyric journals where you can see a digital scan of the original lyrics. So just a more contemporary way of bringing the past into the present and exhibiting these things. This is one of only 2 guitars that have been authenticated as having belonged to Woody, and it was actually authenticated by our friend Pete Seeger. It was found in a thrift shop in Spokane, Washington. The side was busted out, and it had a bird's nest in the middle. The gentleman who bought it for $2, had it renovated, had it authenticated, and we paid a little bit more than $2 for it. But it's worth it. We have the only permanent exhibit dedicated to the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma. So many of our students never learn about the Dust Bowl because they have a 1-semester course in Oklahoma history, and by the time they get to that era, we've got to get through because we have testing to do. So we have a 5-minute excerpt from the Ken Bird's documentary, The Dust Bowl. We've got Woody's Dust Bowl lyrics, some artifacts about that. We've got a blender back there where you can churn the dust up and see what it looks like. And you can gross kids out by doing that, and then it leaves the residue on the cylinder. And you say, okay, you're going to go get a drink of water, and you pick up the glass, and this is on the inside. Ooh, it's in your hair. Ooh, it's on your skin. By the time they leave, they think they need a shower. But, you know, it's always fun to mess with kids. So again, Black Sunday, the Dust Bowl. I think it's important, particularly for our young generation, to know where they came from. It's vitally important because so many kids, when I was a 9th grade teacher, I'm from Oklahoma. Nobody important comes from Oklahoma. It's no big deal. They have a very rich and proud heritage of resiliency. I mean, you've got the Trail of Tears, the Dust Bowl, our natural disasters that we overcome and face head on. We are a strong and resilient people, and it's something to be proud of, not say, I'm just from Oklahoma. I come from, I live in Broken Arrow, it's nothing. But so we want to make sure that we're instilling that in them. This is our Woody's America map. As I was talking with Marty, I confess that the only way I've gotten through all of the content on this interactive map is that I have a printout. The sheer volume of information on here is astounding. It can handle up to 30 people manipulating and pulling up information. When you touch an icon, it pulls up a display that has 3 tabs. It has Woody's biography, it has history, world, U.S., and Oklahoma history, and then music, because that's the story. It's Woody's story, but like all of us, we don't stand alone. Our biography is not just who we are. It's where we came from, what's going on around us, and what we love to do. And that is the story. We want to make sure that kids know that they can tell their story, what's going on around you right now, and what is your story, how are you going to tell that? We have songwriting stations. How else could you write a 4-line song in the spirit of Woody Guthrie but on a manual typewriter? And that confuses some students because they don't know what that is. Once you write your song, you store it, put your name and hometown, it goes in our database and we'll scroll around. We do wait to put that on the scroll that displays until we look at it and approve it, because really, your hometown is poop? No. Yeah, you just never know. Most of them are okay, but occasionally you get the creativity going a different direction. This is our little artwork with our 2nd graders. And then those are the panels that surrounds that whole circular area. Woody was an artist as well as a songwriter, and many people are surprised to learn that. And again, all we're showing is how one person used his creativity to express his world and his hopes for a better future. And then saying, now, what are your hopes? What's your story? You have that power as well. I'm watching my watch just so I don't go over time, because once you put a microphone here, I found that it can be very, very dangerous. This is inside the gallery where you all will be having your Valentine's Day party. Again, right now we've got some photos of the early folk scene. We will change that out the end of April with a pretty exciting exhibit. That's all I can say. And then that's the gallery. It's kind of an odd angle, but you can see it's a large space and it's very beautiful. The This Land Is Your Land exhibit features the original lyrics of This Land Is Your Land and a variety of other things. Right now, 2 of those cases are our 5 Civilized Tribes exhibits. I'm making plans for designing a house that will allow me to take that chandelier home, because that's pretty awesome. And this is Nora Guthrie and Ramblin' Jack Elliott placing the lyrics in the center case. And those are the handwritten lyrics. As you can see, Woody had very, very neat penmanship. The original title for This Land Is Your Land was God Blessed America for Me. He didn't care. God Bless America is a beautiful song. He just didn't care for Kate Smith's rendition of it. And so this was his way of protesting. He was an opinionated little guy. But one thing that I really liked, at the bottom, he's got a little asterisk that pretty well tells students or whomever, visitors, that all you can write is what you see. And that's what we tell students. That's all you can tell me about. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you hope. And then this is our entry wall. This is one of my favorite Woody Guthrie quotes, because it starts out with, I hate a song. I hate a song that makes you feel like you're no good for nothing, like you're too fat, too skinny, too tall, too short. And that's what we see so often in our society is that young people are told that they're just not what we expected. We all know that we see kids who have been run down and who feel like there's nothing positive and beautiful inside them. Our goal is to empower those kids to find that strength and beauty within themselves. We also work with women in recovery, so I shouldn't just say students. We take songwriters to the women in recovery offices at, I just went blank, Family and Children's Services. And they work with those ladies to help them find their voices, to express what they've been through. So our message is one of empowerment, of whatever you do it to the best of your ability and be proud of it. The quote ends with, I'm out to sing songs that make you take pride in yourself and in your work. Whatever you do to the best of your ability, be proud of yourself, and you will be a success. That is how we help reverse that cycle of poverty, is to empower kids who don't understand to a certain extent that they can be better than where they came from. And that's a very, very important part of our mission. If we can change the life of one person, we don't know how many ripples that can create in the future. One person. If we can allow that person to find his or her voice, all of this is worth it. Now, that being said, we do bring tourism to Tulsa. We love that we're showcasing what all Tulsa has to offer. But our main focus goes back to kids. We're going to be doing a summer music camp that we received a grant for. While we are primarily funded by the George Kaiser Family Foundation, we do want to have partners in the community. We cover costs for school groups who cannot do that themselves. That being said, that's our revenue source. So we do offer the opportunity for civic organizations, if you would like to sponsor a school, say, I want to sponsor 50 students to come in at $5 a head, so here's your $250, so that there's no problem with that. We will help arrange the transportation costs. Basically, we're here to partner with anybody who would like to help in our goals of reaching every student and showing them how powerful they are and how intelligent they are, and that just because they took a test that maybe said that they weren't highly proficient, we believe in them, because that's how we change our world. And I know that sounds like, occasionally I do get up on a soapbox, so I'm so glad I'm on a podium, so I don't have to step off if I don't want to. But those people like Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger, Dr. King, Rosa Parks, those people who understood the importance of the power of one are the ones that we want to model. So, any questions? Oh, good. Yes? Are there researchers, musicians, artists coming to Tulsa to see it? How are we getting the word out? We have had many musicians come through. Those who continue that legacy, we actually have artifacts from many of those. Tom Morello, Billy Bragg, Steve Earle. A lot of the news has come through Nora and Woody Guthrie Publications, and she lets them know. That being said, we've been getting some amazing coverage nationally and worldwide. We've had visitors from every state in the union and about 12 foreign countries based on an NPR report about our opening. Researchers are coming in. We have a BMI Fellowship Award that will be given out in February. We've had 3 researchers already working on projects come and work with our archivist. And so, yes, definitely the word is out there. Okay, my turn. All right. I'm going to give these out in pairs because you need to take your sweetheart or your spouse. If you need 3, we're going to have to talk, because I don't know. Sounds like that's the beginning of a bad day. Okay, what was significant about the song that played during the video? Raise your hand if yes. I'm going to put this over here. Somebody keep track of who gets these. Okay, next question. How many things are cataloged in our archives? Oh, you got to raise your hand. Sir. Yes, you win. Oh, who was with Nora Guthrie placing the lyrics to This Land Is Your Land in our case? Oh, you got to raise your hand. I can't say. Oh, people. I'm a school teacher. I don't recognize you if you don't have your hand up. Sir. Yes, absolutely. And he did. We lost him twice during that opening weekend. First of all, he spilled his coffee all over our wooden floors as he walked through, and oh my gosh. And so we cleaned that up, and then somebody looked around. Where's Jack? He rambled away. That's not just a nickname, by the way. Let's see, what else? Oh, how much is it for a student group? Per student, how much is it to tour? Sir, yes. Do we really charge students that much to tour? No. Yes, Brad. We have yet to charge any student tour group from any school in anywhere near Tulsa, and it doesn't matter where they come from. We have a policy. If you're a teacher and you want to bring your students, call us. We will make that happen. Our education manager has multiple lesson plans already aligned to the core curriculum standards, so there is all grade levels, all subject levels. So anytime a teacher wants to bring their students, all they have to do is look at our website and say, principal, of course it meets the curriculum. Look. I know. This is why they put teachers in charge of the place. We know how to talk the language. So we want to make sure that any teacher or school group that wants to come through knows that they are welcome. We want to make that happen for them. Also, if you happen to know a teacher, teachers always tour our center free. Teachers and one guest. Show your ID, you're in. We'd never charge teachers.
How about the rest of those for our staff, Cecilia Clinton, if somebody guesses right?
Okay, so I have 6 more tickets. But the teachers we wouldn't charge anyway.
Okay.
No. Or you could give them to them, but it seems like a trick. No, now they can't take their spouse and their sweethearts. It's just one at a time. They'll have to come back a second time with the other one. Where else? Oh, how can you recognize where our building is while you're touring around downtown? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we try not to be too smart alecky when people are saying, I'm downtown, where's your building? Well, it's not real secret. It's about 40 feet tall. What's across the street from us? Yes, sir. Oh, and isn't it beautiful? You guys been to Guthrie Green? Oh, by the way, our anniversary weekend is May 2nd through the 4th. We are having programs in the theater that will be highly interesting, and then we've got music. We got a pretty awesome double bill Saturday night at Guthrie Green with John Fulbright and Jimmy Webb. Oh. Yeah, that's free. And then all Sunday afternoon, May 4th, we'll have music all afternoon at Guthrie Green. So just start a little gift. Thank you, Tulsa. Let's see, what else? Why? You win! When in doubt, always Okima. And you said it correctly. People from out of the area who don't know how to pronounce Native American names, it's usually Okima. It's not. Iowa. My goodness. He apparently has assimilated. Well, again, thank you all so very much for your time. I did bring some trifolds so that you can get a kind of a bigger overview for what we do. I will tell you, if you don't have a chance to come out during normal working hours, we are open on First Fridays, and First Fridays from 5 to 9 are always free. When I mention that, though, I always make sure to mention as well that on First Fridays, traffic moves pretty quickly. It takes a little while to absorb everything we have because of all of the digital components. Actually, I should have mentioned this. This would have been an excellent test question. Now I'm going to have to start all over again. I had a reporter from an AV magazine, which has been all over our place because of our state-of-the-art technology, who contacted me a couple weeks ago to interview me about all of our digital components. And he asked what percentage of the total installation costs was for AV. And I really didn't know. I had to ask someone and call him back. 52% of the entire cost of the facilities is in digital components. We have video screens all over. I will, if you come in at the right time, my staff can recite the 5-minute excerpt of the Dust Bowl video because we hear it constantly. It begins with, let me tell you how it was. So now that I've told you how it is, come down and see us. Be sure and let us know who you are. And we definitely will see many of you on the 14th. Again, you have the run of the floor whenever you rent the space in the back gallery, so you'll be able to play around with all those things that you can touch and experience. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.
And again, the best opportunity to see the Woody Guthrie Gallery is going to be on Valentine's Day with all of us. It's going to be a lot of fun, so come on down. I just wanted to tell you this too. Downtown Tulsa's Guthrie Green has garnered international accolades from the World Architectural News. It's the world's largest architectural awards program, and more than 1,300 projects in 72 countries were entered in this awards program. Guthrie Green, an urban park and entertainment space in, of course, Tulsa's Brady Arts District, was named the best example of urban design. Judges praised the park's aesthetic qualities as well as its functionality and eco-friendly attributes. So pretty cool. Guthrie Green was one of only 4 entries from the United States to win. Woohoo! Life is good. And in your honor, and Deana, I need you to sign this for me. This book will go to Celia Clinton and in our library. Thank you so much for being here today. And next week, we're going to have Above and Beyond awards to the Police Officer and Firefighter of the Year. It's always a favorite of this club. It's such a meaningful day for all of us. And then the next week, Dr. Frank Gaffney. Now, where are some of my favorite doctors in here? Now, doctors could be boring. I heard this guy speak a year ago. I booked him a year ago. He is a dynamic speaker. He's looking at the demographics of our club to talk to us about our heart health. And you will enjoy him, and it's going to speak to our hearts, literally. So bring your spouses. It would be a good one. Or, yeah, what? Your spouse or your sweetheart. Oh, my gosh, we could have so much trouble. All right. This week's Mystery Rotarian is a master lobster hunter. For the past 8 years, his prowess at getting the biggest claws is well known. That success means lots of lobster for family and friends in the Bahamas. Yes, Greg Keck keeps Connie busy in the kitchen. There's eggs with lobster, pasta with lobster, spicy lobster, and so on and so on. It is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Connie, where are you guys? Thank you for your help with this back here. Greg, that's really cute stuff. All right. With that, I will close this meeting. We will see you next week.